It's time to pivot.
You know, people always say your past doesn't define you, and maybe that's true. But for me, the past taught me everything I know. Everything about hustle, everything about going out to get it. So with that being said, I'm pivoting to making Pokemon content. I know opportunity when I see it, and I'm a pretty big fan of risk, as some of you may know. So this just makes a ton of sense. Nostalgia is a powerful thing, man, and Pokemon never really went away. It was a cultural force that has evolved to now be something completely different than what it was when I was a kid. These cards are big business. Now, partly it's because the trading card game came into mobile app form, which let it be introduced to like a way broader audience. Apparently, it's gotten so big that some people are even getting into it just for the money. Can you imagine that? Oh my god, it's way too cold to be outside. Ugh. So where was I? Pokemon. Goodbye, Slava P. Hello, Gary Grindset. I'm naming the channel after the first actual villain that I encountered in popular culture that I resonated with. Finally, somebody who would exploit your weaknesses instead of just being a punching bag. He was a guy that you would see along the way through your Pokemon journey, and he would always challenge you. I had mad respect for him, so now the channel's named after him. And that Grindset mindset's what I'm all about. Hopefully this time I'm just going to stay out of trouble when I do it. Now, before you roll your eyes or click away or think that I'm having some kind of midlife crisis, let me explain to you why I'm doing this. I really can't make the kind of content I used to make before just because of the way my life went. However, I can definitely make content about a hobby that I have. It doesn't hurt that I am seeing the potential of this market and trying to hop onto it while it's still hot. But I'm not a poser. Look, I got Pokemon cards right here in my hand. Kind of takes me back to when I was a kid. You know, I remember trading cards at recess, going to sketchy convenience stores in Ontario, seeing who had what for sale and what was real, what was fake. I thought my binder was going to be my retirement portfolio. Eventually, I took that kind of hustle and I applied it to, you know, some other things. Now, I'm looking backwards to look forwards. Now listen, some of the content I make now is going to be very nerdy. It's going to be focused on why these Pokemon cards are hot, why they're worth money. I'm going to be breaking down the difference between an ETB and a booster pack, and the different types of artwork with the reverse holos and now Master Ball holos and special illustrations. They've done a lot of things since I started collecting these cards to make them more collectible, valuable, and kind of like juice the market. And a lot of things that have been happening remind me of what happened with crypto in 2020. So, you know, that ended well. I'm sure this will too. I'm also going to be meeting some people within this community to learn more about it, and I'm going to be doing interviews with them as well. I'm going to be attending card shows, things of that nature, and that's what you're going to see more in terms of this format. But the big thing I'm going to be doing, and I'm really excited to be doing, is rip videos. And rip videos are pretty much where you just open up a booster pack and go through the cards, and they become really good YouTube shorts, Instagram shorts. The algorithm really loves them, and it's a low effort thing. And listen, the way the Canadian dollar is going right now, it might be smarter for me to invest in some EV evolutions than just hold on to my liquid currency, you know?
To be honest with you, I never really left Pokemon behind. I've been playing Pokemon Go since day one, and I'm still into it now. I love walking around the city. I love grinding. I love Community Day, even if people can be kind of cold. But really, the best thing about Pokemon is that it does bring people together over something as wholesome as fictional animals. You know, whether they're on a screen or on a piece of cardboard, these things are not real, and everybody acknowledges that, but they still join in on the fun, you know? So I am getting into the trading card game, but I'm definitely going to be making some videos about Pokemon Go, and hopefully I get a little bit better at battling. There is also the whole streaming element that I'm excited to explore. There's been some auction houses that have opened up that are pretty much just online, personal to shopping networks. One of them is called Whatnot. So I registered as a streamer on there. I'm going to be trying to do some rips over there and seeing if I can build an audience. I know it's going to be a little bit hard because, as you guys know, I'm stuck in Canada and I live here. But we're going to give it a shot either way. I'm going to be letting you guys know how it is. Streaming is the future, and so is gambling. This is both things. Let's go.
Listen, whether it's streaming or just ripping cards, this is where the next wave of hustle is happening, and I need to be on the cutting edge of whatever's going on. I'm going to explain all of this in much more detail in future videos as I myself learn more, but just know that Pokemon cards are hot right now. Most of my content will be centered around pulling cards and opening packs, but I'll be doing some longer form stuff as I go, especially as I figure things out on my own. There's also a really cool community of local shops and people and conventions and things of that nature, and I'm really looking forward to meeting those in person and going on some adventures across Canada looking for
Pokemon cards. Also, one of my favorite things about this and how it's evolved since I was a kid is the art. Some of these cards have insane art compared to what we were used to, and I'm not interested in not only looking at it from an artistic perspective, but also looking at the lore that it's opened up in the Pokemon world.
Now, if you know anything about me, I always need a guy, so I'm going to be trying actively to find a plug from Japan to sell me cards at hopefully a cheaper rate than what I could get from the West. Now, any true collector knows that the Japanese cards are actually superior because not only is the art a little bit crisper, but the card stock is better, the quality of the holographs is better, and they're ultimately just like more of a purist standpoint. So that's where I'm going to be turning my focus. One of my adventures during this adventure, I guess a side quest, if you will, is going to be to find a guy from Japan. So hopefully we can do that on this journey. Follow me, let's find out. Listen, the past is in the past. Pokemon evolved, why can't people? Why can't content creators? You don't need to smuggle anything as long as you got a good hustle, a good eye for talent, and hopefully a guy from Japan. So stick around and let's see what we pull together. Maybe we'll find something good along the way. It's like I always say, life's a booster pack. You never know what you're going to pull, but the grind is what makes it worth it.